Have you ever wondered what really happens when an elderly person lives alone, without anyone checking in, calling, or even knowing if they're okay? It's a quiet reality many don't talk about. And today, we're going to face it head-on. To all of you watching from Wellness for Modern Seniors, especially my modern and unstoppable seniors, this one's for you. Whether you're already living solo, preparing for that phase, or just want to be smarter about aging well, this message might just change how you see the future. Because the truth is, aging alone can be both empowering and risky. Let's talk about why it usually doesn't happen all at once. First, a spouse passes. Then, a best friend moves away. The kids call, but they're busy careers, children of their own, maybe even in another country. Days become quieter, routines settle in, and before long you're handling everything alone. Groceries, appointments, medications, even those long, silent evenings where no one's checking if you're okay. And while some people picture this as peaceful solitude, it can also hide subtle dangers. A slippery tile, a forgotten meal, a phone that hasn't rung in, days no one notices when your gait slows down. No one sees the bruises from that time you bumped into the doorway. And most dangerously, no one realizes when your memory starts playing tricks on you. Misplacing your keys turns into forgetting to lock the door. Or worse, skipping a dose of vital medication. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake up a conversation we need to have, out loud, honestly, and with respect for the strength you've shown just by being here. Because here's what most people get wrong. Living alone doesn't automatically mean living at risk. In fact, some of the sharpest, most independent, and emotionally resilient older adults today are those who've learned how to age, smart and alone, by setting up systems that quietly protect their safety without giving up their freedom. At Wellness for Modern Seniors, we believe in empowered independence. We're not here to say don't live alone. We're here to say, if you choose it, let's make sure it works for you. Maybe you're in your 60s or 70s, still active, sharp, and confident. Or perhaps you're in your 80s, living with more physical limitations, but still determined to be in charge of your life. Whichever stage you're in, there's one powerful truth. You don't need someone in your house to be safe. You need a smart setup, a system, and a few well-placed habits that give you backup without making you feel watched, restricted, or less than capable. So in this video, we'll walk through 5 powerful ways that health experts, real-life, seniors, and even top geriatric doctors recommend to stay safe, steady, and supported while living alone. These are not gimmicks. They're real strategies that prevent hospital visits, extend independence, and give peace of mind, not just to you, but to your loved ones. 2, we'll talk about daily check-in routines that don't feel invasive. How to foolproof your home without making it look like a hospital. The life-saving importance of managing medications properly. How to notice and respond to changes in your own health. And how to build a quiet network of emotional and social connection, even without daily visitors. Because here's something people forget. It's not just the big emergencies that put older adults at risk. It's the quiet little things. The small routines that slowly slip away. The warning signs that no one sees. The I'm fine we tell ourselves, even when we're not. But my modern and unstoppable seniors, this is where wisdom comes in. The kind of wisdom that says, I don't need to wait for a problem. I can prepare now. And when you do, something beautiful happens. You don't just survive living alone, you thrive in it. You remain the author of your own life story, capable, aware, and in control. And that, more than anything else, is what aging with dignity truly means. Are you ready to explore the first strategy together? Let's start with something incredibly simple and incredibly powerful, a daily check-in routine. Let's begin with one of the smartest, simplest, and most overlooked safety habits for seniors living alone. A daily check-in routine. Now, don't tune this out thinking, I'm not fragile, I don't need someone watching over me. This isn't about giving up control. It's about staying in control with a backup that runs quietly in the background. My modern and unstoppable seniors, let me ask you, what happens if you slip in the shower and no one knows? What if you get dizzy and decide to lie down? But don't get up for hours. Or maybe you simply forget a dose of medication and don't feel quite right, but you're not sure if it's serious or just a skipped meal. These aren't extreme situations. They're common, and if no one checks in, These everyday risks can become serious emergencies. But here's the good news. A daily check-in doesn't require anyone moving in. It doesn't even require someone to knock on your door. Here's how. It works. You build a light touch routine that signals to someone, just one person, that you're awake, alert, and okay. It could be a quick good morning text to your daughter, son, or friend. A 5-second phone call, "Hey, I'm good." That becomes part of your morning habit, opening your blinds by 9 a.m. as a signal to a neighbor who glances at your window on their way to walk the dog, a daily email or message using an app that logs your check-in, or even a simple device that you tap once a day. And if you don't, it notifies a contact automatically. It's like setting up an invisible safety net, one that catches you before anyone else even realizes there's a fall. Let me tell you a real story. There's a gentleman named Mr. Frank Davis, 84 years old, retired firefighter, still living alone in the home he built with his wife. Sharp mind, strong body, but he knows better than to rely on luck. Every morning, like clockwork, Frank sends one emoji, just a sun, to his granddaughter. At 8:30 a.m., if she doesn't get it by 9 o'clock, she gives him a quick call. They've only had to act once, years ago, when he'd had a dizzy spell and forgotten to text. That check-in had probably saved his life. It took 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds gave his whole family peace of mind. No loss of privacy, no feeling of being babysat, just a smart plan. There are even modern solutions built just for this. Apps like Snug let you check in daily with a button. If you miss it, your emergency contact gets a notification. Senior check-in services offer automated daily calls that ask you to press a number. No answer, they alert your designated contact. Smart home devices like motion sensors can notice if there's no movement by a certain hour without using cameras or invading your space. And these don't just serve the purpose of rescue. They build routine, accountability, and structure, which all help with memory, mood, and even physical wellness. Now, let's address a common concern. But what if I don't want to bother anyone? Listen carefully, my modern and unstoppable seniors. You are not a burden, you are a blessing. And asking someone to be part of your safety net isn't asking them to take care of you. It's inviting them into your circle of confidence because you're smart enough to plan ahead. This kind of habit doesn't take anything away from your independence. It protects it. It keeps you from ending up in a hospital because no one knew you needed help. It allows you to stay in your home longer, on your terms, and perhaps most importantly, it gives your family and friends peace of mind without requiring constant contact or micromanagement. They know you're okay. You know someone will notice if something's wrong, and that changes everything. So here's your takeaway. From this part, even if you live alone, you don't have to live unnoticed. Create a check-in routine that fits your life, whether it's a text, a glance out a window, or a daily app tap. It's a small act that offers huge protection, and it might just be one of the smartest things you do for your future self. When you're ready, let's move into the next strategy, one that directly addresses one of the most common and dangerous risks for seniors living alone: falls. Now, let's talk about something that sneaks up on too many seniors. Often when it's too late, fall-proofing your home, you might feel strong. You might still climb stairs, carry laundry baskets, or even do light gardening. But here's the truth. Falls are the #1 cause of injury in older adults living alone. My modern and unstoppable seniors, a fall isn't just a physical event, it's a life-altering one. A single trip over a rug or slip in the bathroom can lead to broken bones, hospital stays, surgeries, and even permanent mobility loss. And yet, almost all of it is preventable. Here's the deal. The majority of homes, especially those lived in for decades, weren't built with aging in mind. They were designed for young knees, strong balance, and fast reflexes. But now, you need that space to support you, not sabotage you. So let's break down exactly how to fall-proof your home, step by step. 1. Lighting is your first defense. Dim hallways, shadowy corners, and burned-out bulbs are silent hazards. Make sure your home is well lit from room to room. Especially entryways, stairs, bathrooms, hallways, at night, use motion sensor nightlights in places you might walk at 2 or 3 a.m. Trust me, seeing clearly might be all it takes to save you from a painful fall. 2. Secure your flooring. This one's huge. Rugs and uneven surfaces are among the top culprits in household accidents. Remove small area rugs or secure them with non-slip backing. Avoid using mats or runners that can slide. Near doorways and bathrooms, make sure all flooring transitions, like from tile to carpet, are flat and safe. Your feet should never have to guess what they're stepping on next. 3. Reorganize for reach, climbing on chairs or stools. That stops today. Keep your most used items between waist and shoulder height: medications, glasses and plates, toiletries, clothing, remote controls, and chargers. If you find yourself reaching, stretching, or climbing, change the setup, not your balance. For the bathroom, your riskiest room, wet tiles and slippery tubs are a recipe for disaster. Invest in grab bars next to the toilet, and inside the shower, a non-slip mat inside and outside the tub, a shower chair if standing gets tiring, a raised toilet seat for better balance when sitting. And standing, these tools don't make you look old, they make you look smart. Let me share a quick story. Miss Eleanor, 79, lives solo in a charming old cottage she adores. After tripping over a bathroom rug one morning, she realized it was time to rework her space. With the help of her son, they installed a few grab bars, replaced rugs with non-slip flooring, and added brighter lights throughout the hallway. The result? She says she now moves through her home with confidence, not caution, and she hasn't had a single fall in over 4 years. Here's something to keep in mind. Fall-proofing isn't about fear, it's about freedom. The freedom to walk around your home without worry. The freedom to enjoy your routines without thinking twice. The freedom to stay independent longer. Remember this, a fall doesn't just knock you down physically, it shakes your confidence. It limits your movement. It creates anxiety. But when you make your space safer, you take that power back. You reduce risk, you feel steadier, and you move with ease. So, my modern and unstoppable seniors, take a walk around your home today. Ask yourself, can I clearly see every step? Could I trip over anything? Is everything I use daily within safe reach? Would my bathroom be safe if I was feeling dizzy or tired? If the answer is maybe, change it, because your space should support your strength, not challenge it. Fall-proofing isn't about making things look different. It's about making sure you stay upright, strong, and in control every step of the way. Let's imagine something uncomfortable for just a moment. You're home alone. It's quiet. Suddenly, a sharp pain in your chest, or you feel faint, or you fall, and your phone, it's across the room. What happens next? Who comes how long before someone notices? My modern and unstoppable seniors. This is not about scaring you, it's about preparing you, because here's a truth that too many people avoid. Living alone requires a personal emergency plan, not a dramatic one, not one that assumes the worst every day, but one that works quietly in the background, ready if you ever need it. So let's build that plan together. Simple, practical, and life-saving. 1. Set up an emergency contact sheet. Most people rely on their phone to remember everything, but what if you can't access it? Create a printed contact sheet that includes your full name and address, emergency contacts, family, friends, neighbors, your doctor's number, list of medications you take, any medical conditions or allergies. Your health insurance details. Place a copy in your wallet on your fridge near the front door next to your bed. This isn't just for you. It helps paramedics and neighbors take fast, accurate action. 2. Emergency alert systems, not just old people gadgets. You've seen the commercials, a necklace or wrist button you can press during an emergency. But these devices have come a long way. Today's options include smartwatches with fall detection and emergency. Call features discreet pendants you can wear in the shower. Devices that automatically call for help if you're unresponsive after a Fallon, the best part. Some don't even require a monthly subscription. If you live alone, this tiny device can be your silent guardian. 3. Choose your go-to neighbor or friend. Not everyone has family nearby. That's okay, but it's crucial to have one person who knows your routine and who you trust to check in during an emergency. Let them know where you keep your spare key, who to call, if they can't reach you, any medical needs you have. This person doesn't have to take care of you, they just need to be part of your safety circle. 4. Keep a backup phone or emergency cell charged at all times. Your primary phone might die. You might misplace it. That's why having a simple backup phone like a basic flip phone or prepaid mobile is a smart move. Store it in your nightstand or in the kitchen fully charged. Always on you may never need it, but if you do, you'll be grateful it's there. Let me tell you about Mr. Clark, 85, who lives alone after his wife passed 5 years ago. One night he slipped in the bathroom and couldn't get up. He had no way to reach his cell phone. Luckily, weeks earlier, he'd installed a voice-activated emergency system in his home. He called out, and within minutes, help was on the way. He later said, "That device didn't just save my life, it saved my independence." That's the kind of peace of mind we're aiming for here. You see, an emergency plan doesn't make you weak. It makes you ready. And readiness? That's power. It means you can live on your own terms while still being covered in case something unexpected happens. It means your family, even if they're far away, can relax knowing you're protected. So, my modern and unstoppable seniors, let's replace the what-ifs with "I'm ready." Let's replace the fear with structure. And let's make sure that living alone never means living at risk, even if no one checks on you every day. Even if your kids live across the country. Even if you feel like you're still fine, having a simple emergency plan could be the smartest thing you do this year. Here's something we don't say enough. Your support system doesn't have to be made of family. It just has to be made of people who care. My modern and unstoppable seniors. If you've ever felt a little left out because your kids are far away, or maybe you never had children, or your circle of close friends has gotten smaller over time, please hear this. You are not alone, and you do not have to face aging solo. The secret: creating a web of connection that holds you up, even if it doesn't look like the traditional family model. So let's talk about exactly how to build a support network that works for you, no matter where you live or what your situation looks like. 1. Start with your neighborhood. Yes, even if you've lived there for years, the people who live near you can become part of your safety team, and often they want to help. Start small. Wave hello when you see someone outside. Learn just 1 or 2 names offer to bring in mail or water plants when they travel. Ask if they'd like to set up a mutual check-in, even just a weekly one. You don't have to become best friends overnight. You're building trust threads, and over time, they weave into real connection. One woman I spoke with, Maria, 78, started bringing her neighbors' trash cans up the driveway every Tuesday. A month later, they were sharing muffins and talking about their grandkids. Now they're each other's emergency contacts. You never know what one small act might lead to. 2. Join or create a local senior group, even just once a month. You don't need to fill your calendar, but showing up somewhere just for you can make a huge difference. Options include senior walking clubs, community garden teams, library, book circles, local classes, art, music, tech, or even chair yoga, religious or spiritual meets. Senior programs, many are free. If nothing exists nearby, start a coffee morning once a month. You'd be amazed how many people are just waiting for someone else to take the first step. 3. Use technology to stay connected. Even in simple ways, you don't need to become a computer wizard. Just having a few digital tools in place can shrink the distance between you and the people who care about you. Try this. Schedule a weekly video call with a distant friend or relative. Join a Facebook or WhatsApp group for local seniors use. Voice messages instead of texting if it's easier. Explore platforms like Nextdoor. To stay updated on your neighborhood connection doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be consistent. 4. Volunteer, even in tiny ways. Helping others brings meaning and creates a network of people who notice when you're not around. Some ideas: reading to children at a library, helping in a local thrift shop or museum, writing letters. For hospital patients, making care calls to other isolated seniors, even just saying, "Do you need help with that?" At the grocery store hour, not just giving, you're weaving yourself into your community's fabric. People will see you know you and care when you're missing. That's safety, disguised as kindness. Here's what it all comes down to. You don't need 20 people. You just need a few good ones. People who know your name, notice if you're not around, are glad when you check in, would reach out if something felt off. You can absolutely build that, no matter your age, no matter your location, and no matter your family situation. So my modern and unstoppable seniors, if you've been feeling a little isolated, a little like the phone doesn't ring as often as it used to, This is your sign. Connection is still possible. And more than that, it's essential because you deserve more than just safety. You deserve to feel seen, valued, and part of something bigger, even when you live alone. Let's take a breath, my modern and unstoppable seniors, because everything we've talked about today, from daily check-ins to fall-proofing, from medication safety to building a support system, it all points to one powerful truth. You are still the author of your story. Living alone does not mean being left behind. It means learning how to shape your life in a way that keeps you protected, empowered, and deeply alive. Yes, there are risks. We won't sugarcoat them. The quiet dangers are real. A simple fall that no one notices, a week of forgotten medication, a voice not heard for days. A soul that begins to feel invisible, but here's the good news, and it's very good. Each of those risks can be softened. Each can be planned for. Each can be met with wisdom. And you, of all people, have that wisdom. You've earned it. Let me ask you something personal. Do you remember a time when you had to figure out something no one prepared you for? When you had to be your own backup plan? Maybe it was losing someone close to you. Maybe it was retirement and wondering what life would feel like without the daily rhythm of work. Or maybe it was just waking up one day, realizing that you are the one who needs to look out for you now. That moment, whatever it looked like for you, didn't break you. It shaped you. And you're still here now is not the time to disappear into the background. Now is the time to design your days with intention. Let's do a quick recap of your power tools. Daily check-ins, not for weakness, but for wisdom. Fall-proofing your space because your home should support you, not threaten you. Medication and health routines so you stay sharp, steady, and clear. A strong support web made of neighbors, friends, and community. Not just family. Connection without clutter. You don't need many people, just the right ones. These are not just survival tools. They're tools for thriving. So what happens if no one is there to care for you? Well, let's change that question. Let's ask instead, what happens when you decide to care for yourself like you always cared for others? What happens when you don't wait for help, but design your safety, build your rhythm, and ask for connection with confidence? What happens is this. You become stronger, safer, and more resilient than ever. Not despite living alone, but because you learned how to make it work for you. And here's one final reminder. From me to you, you are not invisible. You are not done. You are not someone to be pitied or passed over. You are the living memory of a generation, a builder of stories, a guide with experience. Your life matters, whether someone checks in every day or not. But by taking smart steps now, you make sure you stay in the driver's seat, with your health, your safety, and your peace of mind all under your care. My modern and unstoppable seniors, if this video gave you even one idea, one nudge, one breath of reassurance, then I invite you to do two things. Comment below. What's one thing you'll put in place this week to support your solo life? Subscribe to Wellness for Modern Seniors, because we're just getting started, and I want you to have a steady stream of support, wisdom, and community for every step ahead. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, stay unstoppable. You've got this.